what's up? If you don't know, I am nowhere near ready. But I've still gone live. There's that. Very nice thing called preparation that I haven't had a chance to do. But yeah, I'm just going to put some music on for you to listen to while we talk. Because, you know, I like talking. And if you don't know, I said yesterday, I'm probably going to be tired as all hell. And what do you know? I'm tired as all hell. I've got a coffee prepped here. Don't normally drink coffee past 5 PM, so this is going to be... You can know I'm going to be tired as all living heck for this series. But hey, let me get the games on my screen, and hopefully they're in a decent position. I should also mute them, spoiler alert. So, bits to talk about, honestly, before we get into it. I'm gonna do a quick thing. This is a one-off. Don't expect it to happen every time we go live, but hey, let me just say, I'm gonna do some Pokemon card openings while I'm here. I've got my double stack of cards, so about 4 packs. Paldea Evolved and Obsidian Flame, but got bits to talk about as we do it. Namely, the new song by Paranoia, or the League of Legends secondary world song. Arguably better than Gods. I've enjoyed it certainly more. Let's open this pack and talk about things. I listened to it at work today, just being chilling as I did my job. And it was kind of fun. It was certainly a weird one, to say the least. I'm nice. If you want the code, there you go. Anyone who is watching who likes Kokars can have it. But yeah, I'll do that for the rest of them as well. That's a promo card for a Growl if I want that. But yeah, it's a decent song. I certainly prefer it to Gods. It provides a nice change up. I would definitely have liked to have heard it as the actual world song and not the New Jeans one, because this one provides certainly more of an atmospheric than God. Oh, we got a gold. The lighting in it is shocking right now, but a golden water energy, I like that. And Hariyama, the rare behind it. That's a nice start to this. But yeah, I honestly, if you know me, I do like music. A big part of me is just chilling to music, understanding the rhythm and flow. I like that sort of stuff as we play. Because games-wise, I don't tend to listen to the actual game itself. I tend to just have, like, a YouTube video on. So, like, when I play League, spoiler, I don't listen to the game music. Or any in-game sounds. And you're probably thinking, isn't that just suicide? Because you're not able to hear audio cues of abilities. And yeah, you'd be quite right. It is dumb to do it like that. But like, I've come accustomed to understanding how League works and when to use my skills. But realistically speaking, people get predictable, and I just know when to react. Kind of odd. This pack felt way too easy to open. Like, it just straight popped open compared to the last one. Okay. There's your code. This is what you guys probably will want if you're watching, but hey. A long cycle home, as normal for me. It's become accustomed for my Tuesdays to be pretty shite on a ride home. But I'm used to them. It's certainly nice to not be rushing through a stream, so I'm going to take this one a bit more relaxed compared to before. So that's a Palafin and the end of the pack. So that's actually not a terrible pack. I mean, Palafin is a decent Pokemon, to be honest. We did get that really rare Palafin. I forget if it was Paldera Evolved or Obsidian Flames. I think it was Obsidian Flames. But yeah, these packs are way too easy to open. And it's odd. But I warn you guys, if you're watching, enjoy. I tend to want to keep you guys... I like to give you guys the cards. There's only a few I've never given you, and it was some ultra premiums that I wanted for myself to do for something towards this Christmas. Yeah, I keep some of the cards off of you guys just cause it makes sense to. Others, I don't care about the online game. I don't play the game. I just collect the cards. I've got a habit of just keeping the cards for myself. If you know me, you know I like Pokemon. And I tend to just get the cards and keep them in a nice binder if they're worth it. I also have... Wow. The rare was a Togekiss that we already saw. I guess it was Wonga pulled the golden energy. But other than that, not the best packs. Oh well. But as I was saying, I do like getting Pokemon cards and having a massive collection of them. They just bring me some joy in some regards, because they're just like absolutely balling, shall we say. But the fact that I am nowhere near prepped for this. Oh, didn't realize that. Anyway, DKBDS, I guess, is the actual mainstay event for you guys today. This is a stomp from the get-go. DK trounced BDS in this series. So our goal is to understand why that happened, and as a whole, just provide some sort of clarity on the game that we have here. Because DK is the 4th seed? 3rd seed? Last seed of the LCK. Same with BDS for us. So this is a good representation of the region strength difference between each of the top major regions. Is this one as a whole should be quite close based on seeding, but with how the leagues are set up and the difference in player quality, I think that becomes a factor, and how players are trained is certainly another key factor. But this series is going to be interesting because it's the most, I'd say, unique team for Europe. Not the strongest, due to provide both of them when you look at them on paper and how they've played. But as we get into the draft in first round of picks, Maokai, Darius Ori banned out by DK. Jarvan, Xayah, Kalista removed by BDS. Now, BDS have one of the weirder pools, as they've got differing priorities compared to other teams. It's not the likes of the Jax Tops or the Renekton. It's the more creative picks, the Garens, the Dariuses for Edom, Olaf set, if you want to call out all of the gods picks, and DK. I like what they've done here. Caitlyn Lux into Crowny Labrov. Crowny Labrov have had a weird tournament, to be honest. They've not been able to get much done. They're not the superstars for this team at this tournament. They've kind of been subdued by a lot of teams. So, with the fact Deft and Kaylin are going against them, it looks like they're trying to stay away from the top side of the map and try and play heavily towards the bot side DK with this draft so far. Now, second ban phase comes through, and a lot of these big top lane picks will be removed by either side. Surprising that BDS haven't banned out some of the other available junglers like the Viego or the Sedge. Something that can realistically playmate for the bot lane should be removed out here by BDS. I think that would make a little bit more sense than banning out heavy top lane matchups. But they're going to continue to ban out tops here. There's a lot of big picks removed from either side. I think BDS should blind pick their top lane here, as Kaiser's kind of a guarantee for them regardless. Or they go Kaiser here, get a blind they get a counter pick top. I'm not a big fan of having Kaiser fall this far down the priority chain for BDS. It's amazing it actually gets let through here, as there's some drafts showing on the cheat sheets there for BDS. Kind of nice to see. Probably the previous performances against Damwon here in their scrimmages. Now Vi gets locked in, so a playmaking ADC, and that's Volibear for Adam. I get why you would take it, because you kind of, with this comp, you want to play aggressive with the Blitzcrank in the bot lane. So having a Volibear to just turn the towers off allows you to get close enough to go for these aggressive Blitz hook. I get why you do this draft for BDS, but it does seem kind of weak-footed compared to what DK have, because they're going to have pressure topside, because this Volibear will get just outbursted very quickly by a Rumble. You've not got realistically any damage up there. You're very much relying on Sheo, who I also think has had a bit of a underperforming Worlds, as if there was a graph released today that I saw on my X timeline, and it was relating to players and their gold and versus experience. Sheo and Crowny were two of the lowest performers. I'm forgetting, Crowny was slightly better than Sheo in terms of his thing. In fact, Crowny was basically Catty, the Gam mid laner, who we praised a lot yesterday for his performances on the Syndra. But like, as a whole, this BDS squad, once they've hit the main stage, hasn't really had the same performances as what they did in groups. Now, they've got probably, them and Gam have the biggest sample size of games here at the World Championship, as they've played the entire play-ins as well as the main stage, and Gam certainly are going to have the largest amount of games for another round, as they've got another best of 3 to play for knockouts. But currently I think with how BDS played, as the runes are out onto the Rift, nothing in particularly out of the ordinary cleanse on Crowny. I'm actually surprised there's no cleanse onto a Deft, because as the game gets later, I'm going to have to deal with the LeBlanc and the Volibear. Volibear has a point-click stun, so he can pretty much just deny any form of play for this Caitlyn. So I'm realistically thinking we may see a Medjay... no. Shirelle... No, Mikhails, that's the word I'm looking for. Out from Kylin instead of the full burst mage Lux build that you tend to see as bot side, as expected. Early levels are going to favour DK, and they're probably going to favour him for quite some time, as you realistically can't play on front foot into a Lux as a Blitz for at least 3 levels. Once you can unlock the speed boost to go aggressive, then you can kind of lane against them. Once you burn summoners as well is when you start to be able to play aggressive Blitz. It's unfortunate that that's the case, but like, as a whole, BDS have drafted here a comp that needs some support in order to get their aggression early. Now, Labrov can obviously go for roams, and I think I'd prefer that as, once again, Caitlyn Lux doing Caitlyn Lux things of just bursting out a singular target. It's a gruesome combo, but what needs to happen is either A, bot lane gets, that's actually a good flash trade, as that's going to be the Sonic Wave forward, first blood onto Nico. That's very well played by Sheo and Nuke. They burn both their flashes, but get first blood for it. The bot lane backed, so they're not going to fall prey to a turret dive. And so this is overall a very worthwhile play for BDS, even though they are giving up pressure in the spot side even more. Deft already starting to build up his CS lead. Caitlyn just is a menace in the early game because she can just outrange you. As soon as she gets the headshot, just auto attacks you. You take a massive chunk of damage. And essentially, it just becomes a very hard lane to play. Similar thing on the top side with Adam, having to walk into flame spitters constantly in order to get farm. And as a volley, you kind of want to be constantly stacking up autos so you get the electricity procs from your passive onto many minions. As the hook not going to be thrown out just yet. If it landed, Labrov actually hasn't thrown a hook yet, which is kind of sad. But if he threw it there and it landed onto Kylin, it certainly would have forced a flash out from the Lux. Very little mana, so hasn't got probably enough to use light binding. Especially considering she used it almost immediately. So, may have been beneficial for Labrov to use it, burn a summoner, and then it makes the lane a little bit more playable for Crowny, because you can actually do stuff as mid lane, just trading aggressive as Showmaker and Nuke, who's also being forced. But yeah, this is kind of showing the presence that Rumble has against Adam. As soon as Volley steps up into the wave to try and farm, he just gets burnt down, and it's so hard as a Volibear to actually make a play, as we're actually getting a replay of the first blood. As soon as the chain lands, massive amounts of damage comes through. I'm actually amazed how much came through on that burst combo from the LeBlanc early level, as finally Labrov's actually unleashed onto the map. 2 minutes until the Herald. So there isn't really a play for BDS up here as of yet. I get why they're doing it. It's to relieve Adam. He's gone Doran's ring start. Personally, would have preferred maybe Doran's shield, just so you could sustain a little nicer through this Volibear, as that stuff all out from the Volley Bear, burning him down. The Ignite from Kana just secures that kill. That was close to being a full burn through, and he didn't even use his ulti there, the Rumble. So it would have been a lot cleaner if it was a straight 1v1. But the pick almost works out. Oh, Labrov misses the hook, and this is the issue with a Blitzcrank. If you miss the hook, you are immediately on the back foot. And with that, you're forced to burn summoners. You're already taking a lot of damage, as you have to step forward to also body block for your ADC. It's just a nightmarish lane to play against. And it makes very little sense to lock in the Blitzcrank here, considering the fact that you are going to have to deal with the constant harassment of this Lux Caitlyn. As this add-on low HP already, he thinks he can out-damage him and get the extra health, but Rumble's already overheating, and that's extra damage from the Flame Spitter that just perfectly connects onto him, and he's just dead, regardless of how close the fight looks. It was not going to be any different of an outcome, because as soon as the Flame Spitter gets used, the full burning comes through, and it's just impossible for Adam to do anything there. He didn't have enough HP if he wanted to go for the all-in as well, so he gets punished very, very heavily for his aggressive play. Because bear in mind, his team did just go up to the top side to actually try and give him a reset. And the fact he didn't take it and then opted into a fight, it really hasn't worked out for BDS. And now he's down 20 CS, being frozen off the wave. This Rumble is going full Magic Pen, already going with the Magic Boots to start with, looking to burn out Adam at any opportunity. And the thing is about Rumble into Volley, when Volley tries to run at you with his Q, you just push your Q as well. He's running into the Flamethrower. So the fact is, so long as you keep facing towards the Volley, he's going to be killing himself, basically. It's unfortunate to say it that way, but there's no other way to say it, and I hate saying that. But yeah, top side, pretty doomed already for BDS. And it's unfortunate to say this, but so's jungle. Considering the fact that Sheo realistically should be making early plays like what he did for Nuke. He should be constantly ganking and causing advantages for his team to make plays. Like, he should realistically have alleviated the bot lane a bit more so that they can go aggressive, as Deft is just using the Gazing Hole on cooldown. As good Hex Flash there from Labrov to get him to safety. Now just throw the hook out. You've got vision. If you throw the hook out, there would actually have been no escape for Kylin. You probably would have got the kill because Ace and Hole was used. Vi was technically in the area, but I'm pretty sure Kaiser and Blitz could probably burst out this Lux early. And what do you know? The siege continues to go forward from DK. This is just a snowball. Like, it's not even a close game. It's unfortunate to say it, but the fact is, mid lane, the trades are now evened up, and Nuke's not actually winning out on them. And he got first blood. As here, this is close. The Blitz gets caught, but he's locked up and burning down. Kill goes over to Vi, but there's a trade as Kaiser finally gets on the ball for herself. Here comes Defs and Kylin stepping forward. The light binding won't land, and there's no further pressure out from DK. That's an overall winning play for BDS. Even though it's a 1-for-1 trade, the kill still goes over to Crowny. He's able to buy a few more pieces and components. As Adam just TPs back to topside. Didn't want to get involved. That's something that's a bit odd, seeing Adam with a TP advantage over the lane opposition. Here, it's just a full Caitlyn Lux combo to kill off Labrov. There's no escape from it. Here, Sheo almost killed off. Same story for Crowny, but again, what we have to notice is the fact that Def is constantly using the ace in hole. As soon as it's off cooldown, he presses it. Like now, he's literally just used it to put pressure down onto Crowny. And once Crowny, if Crowny takes it, he's taking a massive chunk. It forces someone to block for him, and they take damage. There's no shields other than the Lee Sin or the Volley Bear on BDS to kind of mitigate the damage of the ace in hole. But it's still just really hard to deal with. Finally, BDS securing the first Drake of the game. A little odd for them to have let it go 12 minutes into the map. And surprisingly, it is obviously a Cloud Drake, so there is less priority on it. But like, oh, there's the first miss hook. As that one goes wide, the TP flank coming in from the Showmaker's Nico. As Vi goes forward, gets onto backline. The Pop Blossom does work as Crowny falls. BDS caught out overstepping. All thanks to a Labrov hook miss. Simply put, you cannot make any faltering steps playing Blitz into Lux. This is a matchup I personally hate as a Blitzcrank player, because you just cannot match it, as this is just showcasing the topside matchup in a nutshell. You try to kill the minions, you get flamethrowered. Bot side, the Herald crashed down earlier into the tower. DK secured that one pretty easily. Caitlyn, one of the 3 massive threats at turret killing. We talked about Trist yesterday, and we talked about Ziggs a few months ago when it was shown. Here we get to talk about Caitlyn a bit more. It's just the fact that when you play it alongside a ranged champion, you have constant pressure onto the enemies, and so you get time on the towers. A headshot procs do so much damage as here. That's just a great light binding to force the cleanse out of Crowny early. Then he cannot avoid the Nico Pop Blossom. It just gets absolutely deleted. Is both members who are caught by it. It's just great usage of ultimates there from DK, as well as their damage, and yeah, there's the gold graph. Left in isolation is the top lane mainly, and a 1k gold lead has been generated single-handedly by Canna, you have to feel. Across the board, DK, it's just the snowball. As once again, ace and hole used as soon as it's off cooldown. Labrov's really not been given a chance to throw out the hook. It's unfortunate, because you want to be playing on the front foot. But this game, it's just been constant pressure from DK. And there's been no real relief by Sheo or by Nuke to the bot side. And that's something that people criticize. As the hook lands, but the equalizer's dropped down and Death finds the kill. He's going to be jumped on, but he is still somehow alive. It's going to be a double kill over to the Rumble. And Vi finds the 3rd. Make it a 4th as Death aces out BDS. A clean sweep of a fight. As BDS clearly a burnt out in game 1. As this snowball has already been surmounted. This here just is a desperate play. Death, as soon as the light binding hits, he's just able to free fire in. No one on BDS is getting anywhere close to this Caitlyn. And with the Rumble there to sweep up the damage, it's just a clean 1 team fight. That, let's be honest, BDS stand no chance in. And it's weird that you'd counter pick into this bot side matchup with Blitz. It's unfortunate to be saying this, but it's a limitation of the draft. You've got no real playmaking as a Blitz because you need to be ahead in order to aggress, to have support around you in order to go for these plays. I was going to say miracle hooks, but they're not miracles if you're ahead. They're game-winning plays. They're constant pressurizing maneuvers. And if you're not going for it, then your chances are you're going to be basically destroyed. Kind of like that. Blitz didn't need to die there. It's unfortunate because he had Ignite. He could have actually done so much more there for the team if he put Ignite down, because it would have meant he'd probably had stayed alive because it was one extra tick he needed. Actually, he probably would have burnt down regardless, but it's still a little bit weird as Def gets caught out, jumped on, and shut down by BDS. They are going to lose the top lane tier 2 and possibly a bit of damage down onto the tier 3 by DK. But the trade's overall worthwhile for BDS here. You get a kill onto the Rumble. You get a kill onto the Caitlyn, who's down for another 20 seconds. That's going to be opening up the map for BDS here. And some lifeline gained as this. We get to watch it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Honestly, if Lebrov... So this is not on Lebrov. It's more so the Glacial Augment. If he... Actually, it may be a little bit on Lebrov. If Lebrov continued to step forward as the hook is thrown, he probably would have got the Rumble onto the Glacial Augment slow, and then would have allowed him to actually not turn as effectively as he did with the Flame Spitter onto the Blitzcrank. But that's just a minor pick. He also had Flash, so he could have got away. It's unfortunate for Lebrov. He could have honestly have kept himself alive had he played that a little bit better. But regardless, BDS get themselves an objective bounty in the bot side, looking for a play here onto Kana, who's playing respectful. No one on BDS is showing on the map, and in fact, DK are collapsing. They sense the urgency, and it looks like they're going to respond as they catch out the Rumble. But here's the Vi jumping onto the Crownie, getting killed off as Canyon gets himself on the killing spree, and it's just a rundown for DK as all of BDS set to fall once again. It's only Nuke, who's not around this play, isn't going to use his TP. He knows his team are already dead and well out of this game. He's trying to force a play topside to get an objective bounty and some semblance of gold for the team, but DK continue to apply pressure, continue to siege, as this play would not work out for BDS. They think they've caught him, but look at the collapse. It was already coming through from the Damwon, who just immediately focus onto Crownie. Pop Blossom stunned for days, and Vi secures a kill with the Empowered E. It's just a clean kill and clean targeting from DK in terms of their team fight. And BDS, back foot, cannot play this game. It's as simple as that. I can't really express how to win this game because you're just on the back foot and you're unable to do anything. A Miracle Baron would not even pull you back into this one. And I think if you're BDS, you're probably thinking about game 2 already. Now, obviously, BDS are closing in on Ocean Soul. That is a solace. I guess you can still think about game 1. It's not necessarily the most optimal things, as Def gets chunked out by Nuke. That's kind of your winning play if you're BDS, is if Nuke's able to burst out Deft. But even then, you're still dealing with Showmaker's Nico, who's been popping off literally in fights with the Pop Blossom. As stepping forward is BDS, going to be possibly caught out as Nuke chunked by the Caitlyn. Now, DK turn to the Baron. looking for this objective. The Caitlyn traps are being thrown out, and uh-oh. Showmaker on the flank, looking for a play. DK backing into the pit. Gonna try and burn this one down to below 3k. Nuke's on the flank though. He's possibly caught and is hit by the light binding. Canyon secures the kill. I want to see that play from Kylin because I think that was a prediction, to say the least. Lebrov falls. He's unstoppable. Is our good friend Canyon. I hope we get a replay because that looked like a insane prediction from the logs. From my perspective, because the light binding was clearly thrown before Nuke distorted back. So, whether or not it was, only time will tell. As Ace in Hole used to mark Sheo even more, and Crowny burning down, forced to flash the light prism or whatever the name of the Lux ultimate is, secures the objective. I'm watching Nuke. There's Kylin. There he is. He does predict it. That is sick. Perfect timing on the light binding. Secures the kill for DK. This is just an insane Lux performance. Simple as that. Crisp, clean league that's not being punished at all. DK on the front foot for what seems like an eternity this game. You have to feel they're gonna look to push the advantage. Drake in the top side secure. Excuse me as I just pause a second. I'm hearing noise. Apologies about that. Oh, there we go. The webcam's back. Don't know what that was. It was weird. Oh well. We'll see. Anyway, let's get back into the game. If you can consider it a game, it's more of just a stomp, isn't it? DK using the Baron now, pushing into the base of BDS, and I've just realized there's been 0 Barons because it's literally only just got to 23 minutes. This is looking like a very quick victory. And Daph just gets to step forward and apply pressure. This is just gross. Now, that's actually a force play. The Rumble being targeted out. Nuke jumping forward, but will not land the chains, and it's bursted out immediately by the Lux. As Blitz force a flash, the equalizer drop, trying to tick away at Nuke's health bar, and BDS, they're running back to the base where Deft is waiting to kill them all. It's a triple kill to the DK bot laner, and he's looking for more as the Nexus towers are in the eyes of DK. The squad looking to win the game here. An excellent performance out of the bot side, and Damn One are gonna pretty much win game 1 on the back of a phenomenal Caitlyn performance. DK, take the first game of the series and take us to game number 2. Which is kind of where we're gonna end it. It's time for GOL. As I said, I'm quite tired. I would love to break down a game 2 properly, and I may end up doing it after Worlds. It's gonna go on my list of games to break down, and that is a big list of games to say the least. But yeah, game 2, GOL. Simply put, it's a yikes, as once again BDS get demolished in draft. Blue side for the European squad as Olaf, Wukong, Nico, Kaiser, and Rakan get drafted. Honestly, a very strong draft. However, it's a similar story for DK. Rumble continues to have a presence in this World Championship, and I just want to highlight Rumble as a pick here at Worlds. All through the main event, it's won 6 of its 8 games. It's a phenomenal, highly persistent champion in terms of pick and ban. KDA and CSing is incredibly high. It's just the fact that it's so heavily impactful in what it can do, as the Shy has the 2 losses. Kind of funny. Wait, no, he's got 1 of the losses. Who's got the other? Chasey, actually, Mad Lies, that makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, game 2, that's what we're looking at. Surprisingly, it's still a snowball with a bit of a dip at 20 minutes. And that's looking like it's not even a Baron still, it's just a simple early game, a perfect execution by DK and punishing BDS's game. Looking at draft, it's actually BDS that's just batting out ADCs, which is kind of peculiar to see on blue side, because that kind of tells you that Crowny's pool for this World Championship of available picks is quite limited. Because what does Ezreal, Zeri, and Kaiser that he's been playing? Because that was big in play-ins, you have to feel. Like, we look at... I didn't want to look at Kaiser, I wanted to look at Crowny. His win record on the main event has literally just been Kaiser and Xayah games. It's not worked. Whereas if we look at the play-ins, he showcased some more picks. He actually got to play him. And the fact that his Zeri is such a high KD champ. In that game, if we look at game 2 as a whole, look at the draft comparison, I personally would have preferred a Zeri over a Kaiser. That's just me. Now granted, he didn't die, which is a great benefit. He obviously wasn't heavily punished in this game. It looks like just Canyon got rolling and got the team going. Simple as that. Punishing the rest of the map, top side, experiencing a lot of death. But what it does feel like is BDS got stifled in this game and weren't really given an opportunity to play. I think throughout this entire series, it certainly feels like the case. Considering this is only a 24-minute game as well. As flashing lights go by. Nice. But yeah, we'll look at the timeline. I mean, the objective timeline really does paint the story. It's just red control for DK. Minimal impact for BDS. There was a fight around Herald where 1 kill got secured onto death. And the last kills look like BDS were winning out in the fight, but DK just were ending the game regardless. Simple easy series for the Korean side. And it's unfortunate to say that because BDS were probably the most exciting non-Korean team at this tournament. I feel like they've certainly as a team grown. Like, you wouldn't have thought that they would be facing off against Damwon at the start of this year, pre-Spring Split. And I don't know if I ever did it, but if I looked at the roster at the start of the year, in fact, we'll do it now. This is, without hindsight, this would have been at the start of the year. If I looked at not summer, winter, and all the teams, and who I thought would be top 3 going into Worlds. Koi would be up there purely because they just won summer and maintained their roster minus Odo. And Shigenda, known for being a bit more of a carry player, it would have been kind of a almost like for like. However, you're losing out on a strong weak side guy and gaining a more of a carry orientated player. G2 up there as well. There was question marks about Yike coming in, but with the addition of Hans Sama and Mickey back into the roster, that still evened out the kind of mindset of the team. Fnatic, I would have thought, may have been up there. You've got Reckless returning. Rooks had a decent Worlds as a stand-in for a couple of games in play-ins. I think he was undefeated in the Worlds play-ins as well. But like, looking at the rest of the teams, I think it would have been pretty even brawl. I mean, Excel had star power. That looked like a fairly decent squad, like 5th or 6th. I think BDS would have been 8th, 7th, 8th in my terms of my placement for him. Like, SK were my dead last pick. Astralis would have been down there. Vitality would have been my 5th, 6th. Mad would have been up in the playoffs. So like my 4th. So my top 3 would have been G2, Koi, Fnatic, Excel, Mad. Heretics, Vitality, Astralis, BDS, SK. That's probably how I would have listed this region at the start of the year. I think I would have probably have done that like that. But again, this is current day me trying to recollect something that happened yonks ago. So that would have been very hard to do. In fact, I don't know if my magical Excel document that I keep track of everything in had my rankings. Well, you look at the opening week in terms of my predictions. G2 beating XL, Koi winning against BDS, BDS, SK beating BDS, XL beating BDS. So you can kind of see I didn't rate BDS highly. Then week 2, what did I do? Fnatic beating BDS. Oh god, I hated BDS. Astralis beat BDS. I really hated them. Mad beating BDS. And the fact is, the BDS series games seem to be the ones where I'm getting predictions wrong. I finally predicted them to beat G2 and get week 3. And then to beat Heretics and to beat... I didn't predict them to beat Vitality, and they didn't. So you could see where my predictions went in winter. It was very against BDS. So the fact that after winter they improved considerably, they made it to off season, lost to G2, and then lost to Astralis. Yeah, kind of unfortunate there. But honestly, they didn't perform terribly, I feel, during the year. Obviously, making it to Worlds, big achievement considering the roster as a whole kind of sucked. Not this exact roster, but BDS sucked for the prior seasons they've been in the league. So to come out swinging here with a bunch of players who were rejects from the LEC pretty much, it just is nice. It's a nice story for them to make it to Worlds with their style and then kind of get to experience playing on an international stage. But that's going to be it for today's stream. I am tired as all hell. I'm going to go get changed and go bed. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed today, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new if you want to. I will be predicting in a video the last of the Swiss stage. See you guys then. Peace out.